Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe, and I'm a weapon of mass instruction. Alright, this is a little bit of spur of the moment, but I went to the range today. I had a little bit of trigger time with my shotgun, my rifle, and my pistol, and for the most part, it was pretty freaking fun. Even though I kind of sucked balls in my pistol for the most part, I need to stay in practice, and sometimes money's short. Can't buy all the ammo I'd like, so practice is hard to come by some days. But I got a good sense of some of the things I bought for my stuff and how well they're functioning. So today's episode is partially going to be another in the series of Ace Yourself. And today's target is going to be UTG. I don't know how many of you have heard of this company out here. UTG, hard to see there, but that's their logo. That was the company that made the nifty freaking contoured foregrip that I popped onto my shotgun here. And as you can see, it's no longer on the shotgun. And the reason for that is 2 shots in, firing 12 gauge slug, the fucking thing sheared right off. Do you see that there? You see how one side is higher than the other? Yeah. This piece right here just fell right the fuck off of it. And the gun kicked, and I was left with my freaking grip in my hand and the gun in the other hand, and I'm going, durr. You know, I'd love to leave a freaking review on Amazon or whatever webpage and give it 2 stars. And I'll say I would have given it 1 star because it sucks, except that it's really, really comfortable. So as long as you don't plan on shooting whatever it is, it's fine. I guess I should have figured something was up once I pulled it out of the packaging and I saw that there was no actual, like, no shit clamp here. It's basically like the fucking screw squeezes the rubberized plastic here into the rail. And that had to have been what did it. That's a shitty-ass fucking system. I had no idea it was like that when I bought it. And honestly, because you really can't tell all that much from the picture. But that's going to be the point of today's episode. Basically, I want to talk about the importance of checking your gear. Both when you buy it, when you first put it on your guns or whatever, check it then. And do, basically routine checks to make sure your gear is still good to go. You're not getting like dry rot in any rubber components. Your batteries are good on your red dot or any other battery operated gear. Change those out regularly, even if you don't turn it on, like every 3 months or so, just to make sure. And then you could always keep your leftover batteries to bring with you at to the range. You'll have plenty of a supply for that. So that's pretty much what's really on my mind right now. It's a damn good thing that I decided to try it out at the range before I decided to just keep it on there. Because it sure would have sucked if a bad guy popped into the house and I decided to pull out my shotgun and draw down on him, take my first shot with buckshot, which doesn't kick quite so hard as freaking slug does, but take 1 shot, take 2 shots, and then bam, all of a sudden my fucking grip falls off, and no plan survives enemy contact, but the idea is to make sure that you've got a contingency for most, feasible outcomes of the plan. All right. Also, I want to talk about my other little toy here. I finally got that quad rail on here on the Galil, and it's actually turning out pretty sweet. As you can see, the Galil is right now partially disassembled, and I was about to clean it. I put a good I'd say about 70, 80 rounds through it, enough to make the barrel start smoking, which is actually not so great for range time because freaking now, I'm not sure if this is just residue or whatever, but it looks like my finish might be starting to come off, so that's not so great. But yeah, this rail is pretty sweet. It is the same company that made the foregrip, so I plan on giving it plenty more range time before the end of the world as we know it. Or actually, I heard a new acronym, or read a new acronym, or whatever today. People are saying WROL, without rule of law, and I like the sound of that. It's basically an all-inclusive. Doesn't necessarily have to mean the end of the world, but possibly the end of the United States as a sovereign nation. I really don't want to think about that, but one of the guys I was listening to on YouTube he actually made a pretty good point. So look that shit up if you're a little bit worried about, you know, the debt crisis and the economy and where it's heading. But yeah, this really isn't a political commentary. You know, as far as I'm going to get into it here, you know, one way or the other, there is a very good possibility that bad shit's going to happen someday relatively soon. Whether it's a natural disaster, fucking aliens, fucking zombies, fucking, you know, Nostradamus' predictions turn true, the Mayans. I love that new commercial from freaking Shock Top. I actually saw it waiting for a fucking YouTube video to pop on. Fucking guy walking down the street, city's burning up, people are running and screaming, there's an earthquake going on, and he says, it's 2012 and the world is ending this year. The Mayans said so. So while you still have time for a drink, enjoy Shock Top. And I thought it was fucking hilarious. If I still drank, I might just go for that beer just because of that fucking commercial. Great selling point. Anyway, but yeah, what I was getting into is, you know, I bought this rail and this is what I was talking about earlier, how the top rail comes back far over where the dust cover sits. If it was fully assembled, the dust cover would be right back here. So my assumption was basically that when I put this quad rail on here and clamped it down nice and tight, that I would have to take it off every time I wanted to disassemble the rifle. To clean it, which would have really limited my options in terms of optics or other sights down to pretty much nothing on that top rail. And as it turns out, as you can see, I didn't actually touch the quad rail at all. I decided to see how hard it would be to get that dust cover off, and once that dust cover actually comes off, the rest of it comes out pretty easily. So this is actually, I know the AK-47 is a much more common rifle than the Galil is, but however, they are built extremely similarly, at least on the outside. So all of you AK owners, AK-47, AK-74, Sega shotguns, whatever, there's an option for you, especially because with the AK, the dust cover is not terribly tight. On the Galil, you already saw that rear sight sits on the dust cover. Buddy of mine who used to work at the range, he was really wary about that for a while, simply because of that fact. He wasn't sure about it. But as it turns out, it's on there tight enough to where you really don't have to worry about it losing your zero. My zero was just fine with iron sights today, even with the addition of the freaking quad rail. You know, I was hitting most of my targets. I actually put some rounds down on paper with all my, well, my rifle and my pistol. So I'm going to show you my rifle target first. I was focusing mainly on, and it's hard to see. Here's a quick close-up for y'all. I was focusing mainly on, you know, double taps, your hammered pairs, controlled pairs, and then at the end I pulled it in just a little bit closer, and I started doing failure to stop drills. And as you can see, not terribly accurate overall, but you know, I can count one round out of something like 70 that did not actually hit the target, the human target, that I should say. So I mean, you know, still doing pretty well with those iron sights. You know, practice is good. Any trigger time is good trigger time. Just don't waste it. I'm starting to ramble here, but yeah, you know, the quad rail so far stood the test. You know, I was able to disassemble it without worrying about possibly losing my zero in the future with this. My other option would have been to, you know, cut it off right about here, or maybe a little bit further back, using a hacksaw or something about that. But that's a pretty freaking ghetto answer to that. You know, I'm glad I didn't have to do it. So the only thing is I cannot remove the gas tube. But that's really not too big of an issue with the Galil. I mean, the gas tube is pretty wide. And one thing I can do is I could just spray the shit out of that with CLP, let it set in there, get myself a fucking, I guess a 20 gauge bore swab should do the trick. I'll have to take a look at that, and just swab it up. And that'll work too. But yeah, the gas tube isn't something you really have to worry about with this rifle, because a lot of that gas deposits directly on the piston system. So that's the main thing that you got to clean up. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got this episode. I am fucking pissed off about UTG and their lack of quality workmanship on that grip. But I guess that's what I get for buying something that, you know, like this, that was, you know, just under $20. I thought that was an awesome deal. Turns out I got what I paid for. You know, I got a $20 piece of shit, you know, plastic thing, when I really should have been going for the high-end, like, $50 fucking forward grip that's never going to, you know, shear off or anything like that. I think I might shop from Magpul for that. They have that crazy, like, diagonal Masada thingamajig, you know, so that's worth looking into. Overall, I think this is a good deal. $100 even for this fucker. Like I said, it's durable. It's made of aluminum. It does weigh down the front end of the rifle a little bit. So that did affect my accuracy, mainly because I'm just a fucking weak bastard nowadays. I don't exercise as much as I would like, which is to say not at all right now, but whatever. It was extremely easy to pop on. The only thing I had to watch out for anybody else who might be buying this in the future, they give you a spacer that basically sits in between the gas tube and the barrel, and that way when you clamp it down, you don't squeeze your gas tube down and make it so that the fucking piston can't go forward or go back. What I ended up doing was I clamped that spacer down nice and tight when I really shouldn't have gone that far. And I actually bowed it upwards instead of down. So I ended up doing the same fucking thing, jammed up the bolt, put the whole quad rail on there, tried to rack that bolt, see how easy it would be with this rail sitting here. Couldn't make it go. I ended up cutting myself 5 different places. Finally, like, all right, take off the fucking rail, try to rack it, nothing happens. I'm like, oh, there's a problem. The fucking spacer's too tight. So watch out for that. Make sure you don't tighten it up too far, but they give you the tool that you need in order to do this. Right there in the package. You know, that's a pretty good deal. So, so far I'm going to give UTG a mixed review. I would say if you buy something from them that's made of aluminum, it's probably going to be okay. I don't plan on going around banging this around at all, but, like, you know, it seems pretty durable so far. Pretty much just time will tell. But plastic shit, you know, you get what you pay for. Don't go cheap if you don't have to. You know, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And it goes with everything you get. I've been putting my 3-day pack through its paces a bit, dragging it with me up to you know, up to the other town and back. And right now I'm carrying my Xbox in it because my Xbox and all of my, you know, shit fits perfectly there. So it's not really using it the way I would have intended, but I'm putting it to use. I'm wearing it in. I'm checking to see how well it performs, and so far, admirably. You know, but again, time will tell. And it goes with everything. Anything I buy in the future, you know, and I recommend this for everybody. Make sure to give it some trigger time before you decide whether to keep it. Whether it's ammo that you're trying out, a new brand of ammo, a new accessory, a new type of sights. Always remember to zero those in properly. And I'll go over that in a future episode, hopefully, if I don't forget. But yeah, everything out there. You know, try it out before you, if you can try it before you buy it, that would be great. But most places don't allow you to really do that. But yeah, anything having to do with your guns, any sort of gear, test it when you can before you actually need it. It's just like boots, just like wearing a new pair of boots. That way, after 3 weeks, you can tell, oh, my feet are killing me. I shouldn't wear this anymore. Or, that's pretty comfortable. My feet aren't fucking blistered up like I thought they'd be. So I'm going to keep on wearing it, or I'll save it for when I need to hit the trails. You know, whatever the case may be. Props to the guys who just subscribed to me today. That's awesome. That's more action on my page than I've seen in a good long while, and I hope you like what you're seeing so far. I hope you're enjoying it and looking forward to what I've got for you in the future. You know, go ahead and give me your input. Props to that guy Shizzle1 who fucking basically called me out on my combat reload episode, how I didn't actually do a combat reload when I was demonstrating. But yeah, he's right. yeah, that's all I got. I'm running up on the time limit, so I'm cutting off now. If you like what you see, don't like it, that's fine by me. Tells me what you want to see more of or what you don't want to see. Give me a comment, ask me questions, shit on my face, whatever. That's fine. Again, my name is Joe, and I'm a weapon of mass instruction, and I'll see you all next time.